Happy Sunday, everybody, and let's talk about spraying orgasms, shall we? Cheers. Sunday fun day. Now, to answer one of my female friends' questions, is that piss, Cassie? Meh! No, it's not piss. It's a female ejaculation. So, right. I'm sorry you've never had one. So, hopefully in the future it will happen for you. Only 5% of women actually spray, and I happen to be one of them. So, that's what it's like standing in a fucking ocean. So, right. I have had hundreds of people through my Facebook, Snapchat, Patreon, Instagram ask me, where has your channel gone? Where are the videos? Yeah, that's right. 7 years of hard work, 7 years of recording, 7 years of 70 videos. And while I was in surgery, some person with the mullet hacked into my account and erased all my shit. Right. This person called me a hillbilly. However, they have a mullet. So, how do you take that seriously? So, I was not thrilled. There was over 1 million views and all my shit was erased. So, please help support my channel. Hit the like button and the subscribe. I would appreciate it because that's some fucking bullshit. Right. Now, I'm assuming that particular person did not give me a spraying orgasm. So, So let's get back to spraying orgasms, shall we? The first time I ever had one, I was literally 30 years old, okay? And my boyfriend at the time, SWAT team, was going down on me. And it was like, whew. I did not know what the fuck was going on. I was like, what in the fuck? I did not know what was happening. So bravo. It was a beautiful day, and I soon discover, oh, that's what a really good orgasm feels like. Right. I'm so sorry I never had one before 30. Fuck. Right. So that was my first experience. And then I went on to have many more. So, and the older that I get, the more intense, the more frequent, and the longer the orgasms literally last. It's like torture. I'm 42 years old, you guys, and literally, it's just a lot to handle. It's a lot, okay? Why am I sweating? Maybe it's menopause. One could hope. So, anyway, so as time went by, I realized, wow, I'm one of the 5% of people who spray like a motherfucker. Right. So if you're thinking, wow, you never sprayed with me, Cassie, that's because you weren't that good. So, I'm sorry. It doesn't mean I was that good either. Maybe I was having a bad week, a bad day, a bad year, going through some kind of trauma bullshit. Who fucking knows? Right. But anyway, that would be the answer to that if I did not. So, and if it was before I was 30, I didn't know what I was fucking doing. So, right. Anyway, I went on to have several more spraying orgasms, and I can give you a few examples. So after my son was born, I did not have sex for 3 years, right? I had PTSD from all kinds of shit, and I know you moms know what I mean. So I refrained from everything. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to sit in my house and be a mom, right? I ain't got time for all this, right? But I did have a spraying orgasm eventually when I fucked my toothbrush. So, to this day, one of the best vibrators ever, Oral-B. So, we can get into that another day. I know those of you who are just getting to my channel don't know my backstory since the mullet erased it. Right. Anyway, let's keep talking. So that was one example. My toothbrush. Right. Then I would go years without sex, like a year, because it's not my priority. Like, I have 3 jobs and I'm a mom. So technically 4 fucking jobs, right? So I would have to work it in when I had 1 half a day off or whatever. One time I had a friend come over. He literally touched me down there, and I sprayed all over the couch. Right. My friend from Macedonia. It was like, he was like, what the fuck? Right. So I don't actually get out a lot. I don't get touched hardly ever. So that's what it is. So then there was the Puerto Rican lover several years ago. He thought he was unique by finding my G-spot. Not so much. See, anybody who's done time in prison or jail, or typically people who have had a bit of a traumatic sleeping with the enemy kind of situation, they're always good in bed. So crazy has no limits, literally no boundaries, and they're always good in bed because that is their lifeline. So that is their resource. They know they can call a bitch and be like, hello, Holly, can I stay on your couch tonight? And she'll be like, sure, because he can fuck me and get me off. So something a lot of men can't do. Right. So he thought he was unique, but he wasn't. Because literally, he stole money from me, ruined my life, and was it worth the spraying orgasm? Absolutely not. So criminal city right here. But he was one who did find the G-spot, so amongst many other people's G-spots all over the city of Chicago. So if you have a question who it is, you can DM me privately. So then after that, more intense orgasms, more frequent. But again, I never go out. I rarely go on a date. 2 dates in fucking 6 years. Right. But I did have 2 instances where one time I got laid. This is in the last 6 years, people, so don't sit there and look at me like I never get out. I had 18 orgasms one time and 20 another time. What is actually fucking happening? I am getting hornier, but I never have sex, and I never get out, and I never date, and it's getting more wild. Things that will give a woman a spraying orgasm. Are you ready? Here we go. Paying your taxes. Actually having a real job. That'll make me spray. Having a real fucking job. You don't know how hot that is when you're legit these days. So don't say you're an entrepreneur, which means drug dealer. Don't say that. I'm going to need to see papers of what you do and what your income is. Right. If you have children, 50% custody minimum is a must, because that's just a personality trait. If you don't want to see your kids 50% of the time, you're just not a good person. Point blank, period. Right. That'll give me a spraying orgasm. Wow, he really likes his kids and he's loving and cares. Orgasm. Right then and there. Right. Taking somebody on a date and actually paying for it. I'm not talking about, hey, do you want to come over at midnight and you can bring the beer, Cassie? That is not a date. Why are you 50 years old and you're just getting home at midnight? That is not a date. That does not give me an orgasm. That does not make me emotionally connected to you or want to do anything. So, right. But actually taking a woman on a date at like 5, 6, 7 p.m. and paying for it. Wow, that's a new concept. Right. Another thing that gives somebody a spraying orgasm. Not being a piece of shit. Whoa. Treating them nice, sending them flowers, showing them they care. And I'm not saying like, that doesn't mean you're showing half the city that you care. Because a lot of people misinterpret that. They have 17 girlfriends. I'm talking about actually having a real connection. So, spraying orgasm. Right. And actually communicating through sex and not just it being one-sided or you're pounds town. That will not get a woman off, especially in their 40s. Now, things that don't get women off, right? When people literally have multiple girlfriends and they're just like, I don't know, I'm just like trying to feel it out. Okay, then date someone 26. Why are we here? I'm 42 years old and I have a kid. What else does not make somebody hot when you ask somebody difficult things about their life, you then tell them and then they use it against you. Not hot. I've had that experience recently. Not a feel-good moment. And what in the fuck? What in the actual fuck? You know, not texting at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Not sending Pearl Jam videos at 4 a.m. about nothing, man. Not giving me a nickname when you've never met me in person. I can't. It's just too much. So go give somebody a spring orgasm today and don't be a dick. And I'll try my best to not be a dick either. But I am loving that recently it's been more intense, more fulfilling, and it's given me a fucking workout. Happy Sunday!